I'm going to give you just a real quick overview on the project I'm working on, because I'm kind of running out of time. I made some videos. That's why I made the videos about collecting and gun values. It's all kind of tied in. If you're interested in this, you have to educate yourself and be aware of what's going on. If not, you can, get burned. And trapdoor rifles, the reason I'm in the past I haven't fooled with them, but the reason I am now is in the process of working on a lot of our other guns that are in this era and classification. We always get, only shoot black powder in them. Some people only shoot smokeless, reduced smokeless loads with caster jacketed bullets. And, again, it's all people's opinions and whatever. But as pertaining to the other type of guns, your other foreign-made guns, and some guns like I covered, which are a little bit more expensive, these guns, even though the price is kind of up there, basically if you get a halfway decent one of these in the more common models, you're looking, if you go to a reputable person who has them, that when he tells you just what it is, he shows you the pictures and that, you're looking at $800 for something usable to shoot. This goes up. I've seen auctions, of course, I've seen auctions where most of the gun carbines went for $2,000. Okay, you go to the auction houses, you have to watch out, because you have to remember the auction house is making its money on a percentage of the buyer's premium, and usually there's a seller's premium. The seller's premium might be 10% or 5%, and then the buyer's premium is usually anywhere from 15 to 20%, depending on which auction house you go to. And you bid online, you can bid online and that, and you get it in an auction, you could be just caught up in auction fever and overpay for something. So the one thing is, though, they are pretty common. I went on a gun broker and I searched for trapdoors, Springfield trapdoors, and there were 113 guns or listings. Some were parts, but there's about 100 guns up for sale. Okay, and they range from junk to some expensive, pretty pristine stuff. And you have to know what you're dealing with before you buy something, so you don't overpay or buy something that's not going to work and not be what you want. One way to find out, it's pretty confusing, and we'll take a real quick glance at these guns and I'll explain to you what I did. Basically, you can get some, online. I purchased these guns and they were in about the $500 to $600 range. Okay, and I'll go over each of my purchases, and some were good, some weren't. What you want is a copy of Fladelman's Guide. You can get, a good reference book is Fladelman's Guide to Antique Firearms. This is a very old copy, but it does explain the different models. And this is a value, a guide book or a value book. And Fladelman's Guide usually deals with just antique firearms. Okay, U.S. and there's United States manufacturers. They don't have foreign guns in here, but they have all the Civil War and Revolutionary War. For U.S. antique guns, this is the book. It always has been. And on the chapter, at Trapdoors, he explains the models, and that's one reference. There are other books about reloading for it, and that. See, that's another reason why I'm kind of concentrating on is there are a lot of people out there that have been collecting this firearm and reloading and that for years, and parts are available. If you found one of these and got it with, say, a hammer broken off or something, or a part missing, or a firing pin, a couple of these came with busted firing pins, not a problem. I had new firing pins in them in a week. You got a Verndl or a Dutch Beaumont, It took me a year and a half, and I spent an extravagant amount of money to get an extractor for a real nice, excellent condition Dutch Beaumont, but the extractor was busted off. Almost impossible to get a small part or a screw or something unless you had somebody make it. And you know, then it's gonna, if you go and have a machinist or gunsmith make you the part, it gets costly. So that's the reason I kind of fooling around with these, and plus to more or less get experience in reloading for the black powder cartridges. The components are a lot more available, less expensive, a lot more options. And I kind of did fire one of these guns. I'll show you the gun, the target here towards the end of this video. And they're fun. Okay, if you like these old guns, they're fun. And like I said, for 40 empty pieces of brass for the Martini Henry, you know, it was $160. You know, they'd give me like 300 empty 45, 70 cases. You know, that's why I'm going to kind of work on this currently until I get something else going on. But now I'll take a kind of closer look at these guns and just give you a briefing. I will do videos on each piece. I have some work I have to do. I have a lot more research. I have to learn a lot more about these guns and the different models. And I'll just give you a brief look at what I got for now, and as I progress and go on, I'll make more videos. I'll do a detailed look at these guns, explain a lot of things, and as I pick up and learn more, I'll put out the information. Okay, let's take a closer look. Now, I didn't pay a ton of cash or the going rate for any of these rifles, except maybe this one here. This was an auction thing, and I'll give you a warning about that. But each and every single one of these guns had some sort of problem. Okay, you get what you pay for. The one at the top is a model 1868, and this is a 50-70 caliber gun. Now this one's got a shootable bore, but there's some cracks in the stock. You can see where it was already repaired, and the breech block's a bit loose on that. I'm going to have to take this all apart and look at it. But like I said, fortunately, there are problems with parts. You know, they're available. It's not an impossible thing. Now this is either an 1873 or an 1884. Now this gun was beautiful. I bought this on from a reputable gun auction house out in California. And this gun is in real nice shape, and it listed it as in excellent shape, and it said excellent bore, will clean the better. Well, I should have known. The problem is the chamber and the area right in front of the chamber are either pitted, corroded, or screwed up to where I can't slug the barrel and get a good measurement. Okay, so I kind of got burned on this one. It is a nice example. If you want to hang something on a wall, like I said, if you're a collector and you're not going to shoot it, it don't matter. So, but the bore is not pristine, so that does detract from the value. And the description was a little bit deceptive. Now I found another one which I kind of, you know, some of these purchases on online auctions is a gamble. You either make out, and I have made out, or sometimes you lose. What I'm going to call this one here, and as I get more information, the thing that got me is the markings on this and the high arch breech on this 45-70. I thought it was an early 1873, and what I think it turned out to be is a Bannerman Special. The only saving grace is this has a mint beautiful bore with no pits, blemishes, or nothing. But the receiver was modified to take this older breech block. It's still tight, it'll probably shoot, but it's a gun that was probably built from surplus parts. Bannerman's did that, or somebody did it years ago, so its value right there and then, this is the value shot. Has the Buffington sights on it, and there was a cut in the stock here that's held together with two little nails. So I got a stock repair job. But worst comes to worst, for the money I got involved in there, I got a real nice barrel. If I got to replace, well, I don't know if I can replace the breech block. I think they screwed with the receiver to get this one fitted in there. But it may be a good shooter, and that's one of the reasons I bought them. And let's see, get the zoom, camera's acting up. All right, and last but least, this here is an 1888 model. This was the last model made in trapdoors. It's in fairly decent shape, you know, and this is how you'll find them. If you find one with a real good bore and that, with the finish kind of like missing, you know, patina, good solid stock, and this is the model that has the ramrod bayonet. The bore on this was good. I cleaned it up. After I cleaned it out, it come to find out that the bore is in real nice shape. No pits, no problems. The only thing was, I got this also at a very reasonable price. These things go for over $1,000. I ain't got more than 500 bucks in this. But the firing pin was frozen in the breech block and broken off on the end, and it took me forever. I had to drill the damn thing out. But I got it out, and probably this is the best deal I got. And I took it out, made some quick smokeless loads for it, and just fooling around, some wheel weight cast bullets at 50 yards and checking it on the chronograph, more or less my first attempt. As you can see, I got 3 bullets in one hole, and that's with one of the Lee bullet molds for the hollow base 400 grain bullet. So that's my first experimentation on this. Now, like I said, I made some mistakes here. I got to get some more information on the models and a better understanding on this gun and the nomenclature, and I'll figure out how to determine whether they're safe or not safe to shoot and that. So I'll be working on these things little by little and post the videos as I go. Also reloading for it too, both black powder and smokeless. So a lot of stuff coming on this here, and then this will carry over into my other black powder guns.